the content component. Now we need to understand the content arrangement as well. When we talk about arrangement is about what font size do we need to employ, what fonts do we need to use, how exactly we have to create the flow of the content, and what should be the spacing, how exactly we have to incorporate exhibits as well, the tables, the charts, the clip arts, the content which is actually the supporting material, how exactly we have to add the appendix content into the case as well. Let me just take you through the checklist, which is an imperative checklist. Number one is about the font. Always use either Arial, the regular one, font. When it comes to font, Arial, Tahoma, or Times New Roman. These three are good enough, alright? Never ever use Calibri font, which is actually a default font of MS Word. Never use that. Never ever use Calibri. I again repeat, never ever use Calibri for the official work, and especially if you are documenting something for the academic readership purpose. Alright, never ever use Calibri. This font is not considered official for the academic literature. So you have an option, you have an array of options, but try to narrow down the option and pick it up from the three, either Arial, Times New Roman, or Tahoma. These three are good enough. When we talk about spacing, the heading should be, the main heading should be of around, main heading or subheading, it should be falling on the font of 14. The content body should be from 10 to 12. 10 to 12 is good to go. Page number should be at the bottom. Alright, either left or right, but should not be in the middle because it is not encouraged, and the visual appeal diminishes when you actually put that in the middle. So ideally put that on the right side. That's gonna be more effective, and that's gonna be better. Exhibits. When we talk about exhibit, that's about the tables, the graphs, the pictorials, whatever you have collected in that research. Be very minimalistic about it. Be very particular that you have a tons of data and the stats. You don't have to incorporate each and every one of them. So when we talk about research, it's very important that you have a rigor and the relevance. Pick up the right relevant one, alright, in the exhibits, and all the exhibits has to be at the end of the case. So you have the body of a case. This is the body of the case, alright. Once the body is completed, your exhibits will going to commence in that way, and you need to have a reference with the exhibit as well. For example, in the content, at one point you are giving a reference to profit and loss of any company. Alright, so that P&L, snapshot of that P&L needs to be there in the exhibit, and that the reader can actually go through it. Alright, so the exhibit is actually talking about exhibit number 2. Where exactly exhibit number 2? Oh, here is it. Alright, so that's how you will going to create the referential point as well. Guys, the case study should not be more than 30 pages. Max, it should be 35. Alright, 30 to 35 is the ideal page count for the case when it comes to 30 pages. So your case should be of around 20-22 pages, and 8 pages are sufficient for the exhibits. It should not be like that you have a case of only 5 pages and 25 pages are for the exhibits. Should not be like this. Alright, so give good content to the case, and then you need to have an exhibits along with it. So 20 pages for the case in case you're writing for 30 pages long case. So 20 to 22 for the case content, and 8 to 10 pages for the exhibits. All right. And spacing, there shouldn't be any spacing between the content, between the passage. For example, you are telling the history of telco industry of Pakistan, or how many market players are there in the telco industry in Pakistan. All right, the future of the AI, Pakistan, and the expansion of TikTok usability. All right. So when you are putting up the content, here's the heading about, for example, the history of TikTok, the introduction of TikTok, and then you're writing around 200 to 300 words about the introduction. Don't overdo the introductions, by the way, guys. All right. So in that case, there shouldn't be any spacing. It has to be in a block form, in a rectangular form, in a square form. All right, predominantly, and that's how you put your content into the right format, arrangement, sequence, and worthy of reading.